Fortnite Chapter 4 has countless Easter eggs, including hints to upcoming features, new collaborations, secret unlocks, and much more, including a mysterious manhole that's located at Slappy Shores, as you guys see right here. It's recently started emitting a ton of steam, and people are wondering what it could possibly be. I think it might just be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles little Easter egg, since Fortnite loves putting little details like this in the game. But hey, it is possible we could actually see a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab one day. Another weird little map change is that near the Citadel, they just recently added a small area of bamboo randomly, and there hasn't been any clear explanations for what this could be. Some people think it could be like a season 2 teaser of a new POI that comes, you know, something like Lucky Landing maybe, I don't know. Or it can have something to do with the Rift Gate being finished recently. So let me know what your guys' theory is. But for number 3, we all know that the High Stakes Club has become an important little group in the story this season. They are a group of vampire hunters, and a small little Easter egg is that each of the 3 members are actually named after characters from Dracula. Joni the Red is named after Jonathan Harker, Halsey is named after Abraham Van Helsing, and Lucian West is named after Lucy Westenra. So that is a cool little fun fact, and I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, where are the vampires on the map? And well, it turns out there is a theory going around that the Ageless is actually a vampire. I mean, his name is literally the Ageless, and vampires don't age. He lives in a giant castle just like Dracula, and his throne room is underground to hide from the sun. It goes even deeper though, because there is a vampire symbol that is named Ageless Vampire Ancestor or Spirit, and if you turn this upside down, it kind of looks like the Ageless's helmet. So yeah, that might be kind of a stretch, but another crazy similarity is with the Graveyard Drift skin, because in his vampire edit style, his mask kind of has the same style as the Ageless's helmet as well if you flip it upside down. And our last piece of evidence for this theory is that the Joni the Red NPC has a custom dialogue when you go up to her as the Ageless. She says, "Have you ever heard the adage, those who seek power shouldn't wield it?" Which is basically saying that he shouldn't be the king or the ruler of the island, which basically shows that she's against him. So it would make sense that the High Stakes Club is hunting him. So yeah, personally, I'm pretty convinced that the Ageless is a vampire, and I'm gonna go a little bit deeper at the end of the video. But let's move on to another random Easter egg you probably didn't notice, and that is that in Chapter 4 there are no more doorbells. So yeah, it is pretty random, but go ahead and search around the island and you'll see that none of the houses have doorbells anymore, so kind of a weird change. And also guys, you may have known about the leaked nuke item or mother of all bombs item that was in the Fortnite game files at one point, and well, that never came out, but it turns out that you can create a nuclear bomb in a different way, and that's by equipping a truck with a bunch of gas cans and blowing them up, because this basically serves the same purpose. But anyways, a more recent Easter egg, or maybe glitch, is that there is now an all black chest that can be found at Faulty Splits. So I'm not sure if it spawns in every game or if it just randomly, but we have never seen anything like this before. So go ahead and see if you guys can find it for yourself. But anyways guys, I'm sure you've all seen all the hype around the new Puss in Boots movie, and well, believe it or not, Fortnite actually already had an Easter egg for Puss in Boots. There is an achievement called Puss in Bots, and all it is you play a match as Kit. So I'm sure a lot of us already have this, and now that Puss in Boots is actually like a popular movie, maybe we'll see him arrive on the Fortnite island soon, because he does fit the whole medieval time period pretty well. And next up, I'm sure most of us are used to only being able to use one pickaxe a game, since we can obviously only equip one in the locker at a time. But it turns out with all the emotes in game now, you can actually use 7 different pickaxes in one game. So if you want to flex on your friends that don't have a lot of skins or something, this is a cool little fun fact, because I don't think most of us even think about using these emotes to change pickaxes, honestly. And now that Geralt of Rivia can now be unlocked in game, I thought it was worth mentioning that this little scene at the end of the Chapter 4 trailer is actually an Easter egg for one of the most popular scenes in the Witcher game. So yeah, it's always cool to see the extreme detail Fortnite puts into absolutely everything. And I mean, check out the Haven concept art that just got released by the original artist. She has so many different unique styles in just the concept art, and honestly, they kind of look better than the actual skin, I'm not gonna lie. And the artist even put notes saying handmade masks designed to represent legends from the island and the creatures who raised her. And then there's also another little note that says raised by mythical creatures, pointing to some type of monster we have never seen before. So this is pretty cool to get an even deeper backstory on Haven. And we know she was the main one who was interested in the disappearance of the Klombos, which makes perfect sense now because she probably like grew up around them. But yeah, I thought you guys would appreciate this little behind the scenes work by Epic. Another little detail about the storyline you may not have noticed is that the character Wildcard has been putting together a big plan for a heist, and he's been trying to recruit other characters on the island. So we know that Aura is also in on this plan, even though it looks like she might be regretting it a little bit. And it looks like the plan is to rob the Ageless, because when you talk to Aura as the Ageless, she'll say, "Don't ask me what Wildcard is planning, I'm done with him." So obviously the Ageless knows something is up, and when you talk to Wildcard as the Ageless, he'll say, "I swear, Your Majesty, I'm a model citizen." So we'll have to see what ends up happening, but it actually gets even crazier. When you go up to Wildcard as Midas, he'll say, "You should have taken me up on my offer." And well, this kind of implies that Midas made a mistake, and this is super interesting because we all know that those wanted posters just got posted all over the island with a picture of someone covering his face with a beanie. And not only that, there's a gold logo on the bottom right of the poster, which honestly I don't know of any other similarities with this logo to Midas other than the fact that it's gold. But considering that Midas is described as a crime boss, I wouldn't say that it's 100% out of the question that this could be Midas. We will find out more details soon though, because leakers have just discovered a website called mostwanted.fortnite.com that is going to have challenges, and we know from in-game files that there's going to be a whole in-game event with challenges and bosses and quests and stuff. So we should be getting some clear-cut answers before season 2 drops. But anyways, moving on, there is a vehicle I'm sure a lot of you guys didn't know about in-game that is called the Bushmobile. And well, it is just a regular car that you use a bush grenade on, and it will actually stick to the car. And if you pair this with the augment that allows you to heal in a bush, this would be actually pretty OP, so you should definitely try it out. And another little useful Easter egg or fun fact is that shield kegs will actually put out campfires. So if you're looking to take advantage of both of them at the same time, you're gonna have to actually pay attention to where you throw the shield keg. But this is super impressive, just the attention to detail Fortnite has. But now guys, let's get back to the storyline a little bit. I'm sure most of you have done the Oathbound quests, or at least know about them. And we found out that Rift Warden Stellan was sent by a shapeless man to get the Rift Gate built. And well, everybody has been speculating on who this shapeless man is. One theory is that it's actually Geno, because we know the Ageless is just a snapshot of Geno and he also wants the Rift Gate built. But not only that, in the Chapter 3 Season 2 live event, we saw a shadow of a man that was Geno, and this would kind of fit the description of a shapeless man realistically. And then not only that, in the Marvel and Zero War comics, when the Imagined and Wolverine finally go up against Geno, Wolverine says, "A big fella, hard to get a scent from here," but it's like there isn't just one and they keep changing, which kind of implies that Geno is like kind of a shapeshifter and he can take multiple forms. So this also kind of would make sense if Geno was the shapeless man. However, personally, I'm still leaning towards the fact that the shapeless man is either the Nothing or someone who works for the Nothing, because when Amy set up one of those test rift gates and sent an object through it, it made the objects dark and corrupted, just like what the last reality and the cubes attempt to do to people. And then not only that, the objects seem to go to the same place as where the scientist is being held. And well, obviously we know that the scientist was taken by the last reality and the Herald. Therefore, since the last reality and the Herald work for the Nothing, it would make sense that the shapeless man is the Nothing. And another theory to build on top of this is that the Nothing is coming back to save the Herald from our island, and that's why he's so impatient to get the Rift Gate built. The Herald was working for him last season, and there's a new survey skin that has like a new version of the Herald. Finally, Rift Warden Stellan has been mentioning that his dreams are filled with a cold wind and the shapeless man's dark whispers. Not only that, he fears that his nightmares will devour his waking life. And if you guys remember, this is basically what happened to Raz in Chapter 2 of Season 6. Raz was dreaming of the Spire and he ended up being corrupted by the dark powers of the Spire and the cubes by the end of the season. Also, a small side note, I mentioned this in one of my last Easter egg videos, but the same texture or material that is behind the Cube Queen's mask matches exactly exactly to the texture of the kinetic ore. So maybe the kinetic ore helps power the corruption of the cubes, and that's why the shapeless man wants it. So I'm really curious. Let me know what your guys' theories are in the comments about all this. But anyways, guys, there are some brand new free rewards that aren't being mentioned in game, and all you have to do is download this app called Post Party, and you'll actually receive this pretty cool looking wrap as well as a spray. So basically, if you guys follow all the steps on screen here, you'll be awarded these cosmetics like immediately. So just pause the video and follow the steps if you want these cosmetics right now. But back to some in-game Easter eggs. At this random grassy hill outside of Slappy Shores, there's like this purple energy that's coming out of the ground that just seems completely random. Nobody has any idea what this is for, so you guys are gonna have to come up with your own theories as to what this could be, but I thought I would make you guys aware of it. You guys can go check it out in game for yourself. And finally, guys, we'll end with one of the funniest Easter eggs of all time, which is a glitch that happened with the Sarah Connor skin that makes her look absolutely ridiculous, and it's definitely a face you will probably never forget. But drop a like if you learned something new, and definitely check out this video if you missed it. You won't be disappointed.